After rebirth, my whole family can hear my thoughts. Should I tell Dad that the foster son he dotes on is actually my mom's illegitimate son? I saw my dad's hand tremble suddenly when he took the illegitimate son's hand. Or maybe not tell my second sister that she was deliberately ruined by my mom. I saw my second sister addicted to gaming, her phone suddenly burning hot. If my eldest sister knew that her legs were deliberately hit by someone my mom hired, would she be very upset? I saw my eldest sister in a wheelchair, her hair strands practically smoking. So conflicted. If I let them know all the things my mom has done, just to marry her childhood sweetheart, would this family fall apart? I saw the looks everyone in the family gave my mom. All changed. In my past life, I just had a few arguments with the family's foster son, and my mom cruelly pushed me out of the window on the 13th floor, causing my instant death. After death, I didn't immediately dissipate. Instead, I became a wisp of a soul, staying by my mom's side. So I learned all my mom's secrets. She married my dad only to climb the social ladder. In fact, she already had a man she loved. She even gave birth to a son for that man, who is our family's foster son, Song Jinyan. Ever since my mom married my dad, she has been scheming on how to take over my dad's family property. Then, with her beloved man and her precious son, she would form a wealthy and happy family. But unexpectedly, I was reborn. I came back to the day my mom brought Song Jinyan home as a foster son. Jinyan, why don't you call him Dad? My mom brought Song Jinyan in front of my dad, hurriedly urging him. Song Jinyan's eyes didn't dare to meet anyone's gaze. Like a startled fawn, the parts of his arms accidentally exposed were covered with whip marks. It was this harmless and enduring appearance that made my dad, at first sight, feel pity, and later treat him like his own son, even better than he treated me. Afraid of treating him poorly, just as my dad proactively reached out to hold Song Jinyan's hand. What to do? Should I tell Dad that Song Jinyan is actually my mom's illegitimate son? I saw my dad's hand holding Song Jinyan's shake noticeably. He looked left and right, and finally looked at me. I blinked, looking at him with an innocent expression. My dad frowned, thinking he was hallucinating. Next, Song Jinyan would lean on Dad's shoulder, crying pitifully to gain his sympathy. The next second, I saw my dad patting Song Jinyan to comfort him. At this moment, he couldn't cry at all. His eyes were fixed on me. Lu Huai, are you talking? No. I denied it, then thought to myself, I can't let Dad know I've been reborn. He'll definitely see me as a freak. My dad's eyes were wide as saucers, looking utterly incredulous. At that moment, my mom kindly stepped forward, comforting Song Jinyan. Jinyan, stop crying. From now on, this is your home. Then she turned to me and said, Lu Huai, you take Jinyan to see his room. Oh, I agreed readily, silently thinking to myself, in a moment, Song Jinyan will fall down the stairs, and then say I pushed him. Sure enough, halfway up the stairs with me, he suddenly rolled down the stairs. My mom rushed over immediately and hugged Song Jinyan. She asked nervously, Jinyan, what happened? Don't blame brother Lu Huai. I slipped and accidentally fell down the stairs, Song Jinyan said painfully. My mom immediately spoke sternly to me. Lu Huai, Jinyan is your younger brother from now on. How could you target him? Have we spoiled you since childhood that you'd do any bad thing? My dad also walked over at this moment, clearly not as agitated as my mom. Song Jinyan saw my dad and quickly said, Dad, don't blame brother. I know he just can't accept my arrival for now. After all, he was the only son in the family before. I can understand. In the previous life, Song Jinyan was exactly like this, successfully making my dad biased against me. Convinced I had no sympathy. Then Song Jinyan escalated his slander, making my dad more and more disappointed in me. Thus, he became the sole favorite. This time I thought to myself, it's over, it's over. I'm going to be scolded by my parents again. No matter how I explain, they won't listen. I'd better not say anything. I saw my dad's eyes looking at me with some guilt and sadness. The next moment, my dad slapped Song Jinyan hard across the face. It stunned him completely. I saw my mom standing there frozen, momentarily unable to react. My father said furiously, I saw it clearly just now. You jumped down yourself. And you're accusing Lu Huai? No wonder even after you adopted someone, they sent you back. There's a reason for your misery. Bringing Song Jinyan into the family was, of course, my mother's decision. She said that while she was doing charity work at the orphanage, she saw a pitiful little boy who had been adopted before but was abused by that family. She couldn't bear it and wanted to bring him home. She also said that since I was the only boy in the family, he could be my companion. My father couldn't resist my mother's persistent coaxing and agreed. Originally, my mother and Song Jinyan had everything well prepared, but unexpectedly, it all fell apart on the first day. Clearly, just now, my mother deliberately blocked my father's view, worried he might see the truth. Song Jinyan was terrified by my father and didn't know what to do, so he could only turn to my mother for help. My mother quickly explained, Jinyan has been abused all along and lacks a sense of security, so he might have some misconceptions about certain things. It's all a misunderstanding. Look at you making such a big deal out of this. Don't scare the child. My father was about to expose my mother's scheme when he suddenly heard my thoughts again. If he exposed her now, she wouldn't admit it, and it would alert the enemy. After all, my mother currently holds a lot of shares in the company. My father paused. I thought to myself again, my two sisters will definitely side with my mother too. Usually, she's the kind mother and he's the strict father. If it really escalates, maybe both sisters will support my mother. My father fell silent, probably thinking I had a point. He tried hard to suppress his temper and said to my mother and Song Jinyan, I don't want something like this to happen a second time. Song Jinyan nodded obediently, still looking as if he had suffered a great injustice. Uncle Wu, take him to his room. My father directly ordered. Butler Wu quickly led Song Jinyan upstairs. My mother still wanted to explain to my father. Of course with the goal of making my father accept and like Song Jinyan faster. But this time, my father took my hand and walked away from my mother without looking back. My mother looked at my father's retreating figure in confusion. Usually, as long as she coaxed him a little, he would be all smiles. Why was he suddenly ignoring her? I turned back to glance at her expression, and couldn't help but sneer coldly. She had no idea her good days were numbered. My father took me back to the room. He looked at me seriously and said, Lu Huai, tell Dad. Do you know something about your mother? I put on an innocent expression and quickly shook my head. I don't know, but in my heart I said, I can't tell him. If I tell Dad, he'll be disappointed. In my past life, I found out Mom was meeting a man. After I told Dad, he said I was too young to be making up stories. He also said I had no compassion, that it was just Mom doting on Jinyan a little more, and I was trying to stir up trouble. I was so afraid Dad would stop loving me. I saw my father's eyes instantly redden, full of heartache and guilt. He said, Lu Huai, you are my son. You are the one I care about most in this life. I also love and respect Dad the most. I was very moved. I walked over and hugged him tightly. My father didn't force me to say more. But after that, I could clearly feel my father's distance toward my mother, and toward Song Jinyan. Every time Song Jinyan tried to suck up to my father, he simply ignored him. When my mother tried to butter up my father, he brushed her off too. Even though my father didn't usually go to the office much, he started going more often during this period. I saw my mother and Song Jinyan, after dinner, hiding in a corner whispering. Song Jinyan said, Mom, didn't you say that man was easy to win over? But no matter what I do, he's always cold to me. Why is that? My mother said, I don't know what's going on either. He's like a different person. Maybe he's going through menopause. Bad temper. Forget him. Tomorrow your second sister is coming home for winter break. She's very ditzy. Win her over first. Okay, Song Jinyan agreed. You need to replace Lu Huai's place in this family as soon as possible. Once you become the apple of everyone's eye, we can easily get the family's property. Then we can bring your father here to enjoy life. My mother instructed. Don't worry, Mom. Lu Huai is just a sheltered loser. How could he be a match for me? I'll soon earn the whole family's regard. Song Jinyan was confident. In my past life that was indeed the case. Not only did I not guard against Song Jinyan, but under my mother's brainwashing, I treated him like an older brother. Yet he schemed against me and framed me at every turn, making the whole family think I was petty. In the end, they only valued him. But in this life, he doesn't have that luck. The next day at noon, my second sister Lu Mengyao came home for winter break. She was a fat girl weighing over 200 pounds. She never exercises, just loves eating junk food, and she doesn't study either. She plays games every day, and the college she got into was bought by the family. In the eyes of others, my second sister is a complete waste. My dad never expected her to turn out like this, but back then, she really did put too much effort into my eldest sister's education. My second sister was mainly raised by my mom. My mom always told my second sister, with your big sister holding down the fort at home, you just need to be a carefree rich kid. Gradually, my second sister completely lost her shape, spending her days just lazing around and waiting to die. Second sister, Song Jinyan, was the first to go greet her. He leaned close to my second sister's ear and whispered, Mom told me you love eating potato chips, fried chicken, spicy strips, and instant noodles. I bought them all early and put them in your room. I also got the cola you like to drink. Don't tell Dad. I saw the surprise in my second sister's eyes. My dad doesn't allow these things in the house. Every time she comes home, he checks her luggage, never giving her a chance to eat this junk. Before, it was my mom secretly buying them for her. Now it's Song Jinyan. I could clearly feel that my second sister instantly developed a huge fondness for Song Jinyan, until she heard my thoughts. Watching the scene of my second sister getting close to Song Jinyan, I curled my lips and thought to myself, second sister is already this fat, and she still wants to eat that junk food. Is she really going to be a fat cow for life? I saw my second sister smile, full of pudgy flesh, freeze instantly. She turned her head, locked her gaze on me, and stared with wide eyes. Junk food is bad for you, even a 3-year-old knows that. Has she never wondered why Mom and Song Jinyan keep feeding her this stuff? What are you saying? My second sister asked me angrily. I didn't say anything. I looked completely innocent. My second sister was a bit surprised too, because she really hadn't seen me open my mouth. The next moment, she heard my voice again. Better not tell second sister that she was deliberately raised to be useless by mom. My second sister looked at me with even more shock. I continued in my thoughts. But, second sister really will get esophageal cancer from eating too much junk food, and in the end, she'll die as skin and bones. My second sister's eyes went wide, staring at me in disbelief. I turned around and walked away. As I walked, I thought, let second sister, mom, and Song Jinyan be close. After all, now that Song Jinyan is here, she doesn't love me anymore. Lu Huai, my second sister called out to me. I turned around. What's wrong, second sister? You. Second sister hesitated for a moment, maybe for a second, wondering if she was hallucinating. She said, I brought you a gift. Before Song Jinyan came to this family, I used to be the family's darling. Everyone doted on me, even my rebellious second sister was no exception. I walked over slowly. My second sister handed me a pair of limited edition sneakers. Like them, I nodded. But I wasn't enthusiastic, muttering to myself, treating me so well now. Soon she'll only be good to Song Jinyan. Even these shoes will eventually be taken by Song Jinyan. How could that be? These are from your second sister. My second sister had just started speaking when Song Jinyan suddenly interrupted. Wow, how cool. I've never seen such stylish sneakers in my whole life. It feels like a dream. My second sister looked a bit annoyed at Song Jinyan. Song Jinyan spoke with a look of envy. Brother Lu Huai is so lucky. Second sister is so good to him. If only I could have such handsome a pair of shoes to play ball with, I would definitely be the happiest boy in the world. In my past life, Song Jinyan used this innocent and pitiful appearance to make my second sister generously let me give the sneakers to him, saying she would buy me another pair to make up for it. In fact, after I gave them to Song Jinyan, my second sister never bought me any again. All her affection for me was stolen by Song Jinyan. At this moment, without waiting for my second sister to speak, I directly handed the sneakers to Song Jinyan. Since you like them, take them, I thought to myself. Even if I didn't give them, second sister would persuade me to give them to him. I don't want to make things difficult for her. Song Jinyan's face lit up with joy. Really? Thank you, brother. At that moment, I resigned myself to thinking that Song Jinyan would deliberately dirty and ruin the shoes, then blame me for it just like in my past life. I handed the shoe box to him. The moment I let go, the box fell straight to the ground, and the sneakers inside rolled out, right into the mud puddle next to it, accompanied by Song Jinyan's anguished cry. Such beautiful shoes, and now they're dirty, the ones I've dreamed of my whole life. While whining, he confronted me. Brother, even if you didn't want to give them to me, you didn't have to throw them on the ground on purpose. Then he quickly turned to my second sister. Second sister, please don't blame brother. He must have done it accidentally. Why would I blame Lu Huai? My second sister looked at Song Jinyan with confusion and a hint of disgust. Song Jinyan felt awkward and couldn't understand. He thought that by now my second sister would scold me for being petty. But instead, she asked that, leaving him unable to deliver the lines he had prepared. It's your fault for not catching the shoes. If anyone's to blame, it's you. Why blame Lu Huai? Yes, but brother deliberately dropped them when he handed them to me. Song Jinyan mumbled, then quickly pretended to be magnanimous. It's okay. I won't hold a grudge. You won't hold a grudge? What right do you have to hold a grudge? You made a mistake, and not only do you not repent, but you're also sowing discord. What exactly are you up to? My second sister's voice was loud, and Song Jinyan's face turned red from her words. Who told you to come to our house? Get out. Go back to where you came from. This family doesn't welcome you. With that, my second sister moved to grab him and drag him away. Song Jinyan screamed in fright. My mother had wanted to give them space, so Song Jinyan could win over my second sister, so she deliberately wasn't in the living room. My father was at the office and hadn't returned yet. Just then, my mother heard the noise and hurried out. What's going on? Lu Mengyao, how can you treat your brother like this? She scolded sternly. My second sister shouted back at her. He's not my brother. Lu Huai is my brother. You brought him here, right? Send him away now. What nonsense are you talking about? Now that Jinyan is part of our family, he's one of us. You're this old, and you still don't know how to behave? My mother admonished, pulling Song Jinyan to her side. And your brother even prepared snacks for you, bought them risking your father finding out. And you're so ungrateful. When my mother mentioned the snacks, I saw my second sister get furious. Just as she was about to yell at my mother, she suddenly heard my thoughts again. In my mind, I said, second sister, don't argue with mom now, it's useless anyway. Mom brought Song Jinyan home, just to steal our family's assets. Right now, you should focus on improving yourself and turning over a new leaf. Then catch mom off guard in the end. My second sister paused, swallowing the words that were on the tip of her tongue. She simply said, anyway, I only have one brother, Lu Huai, and with that, she dragged me away, leaving my mother and Song Jinyan staring blankly at each other in confusion. They couldn't understand why our whole family had suddenly become so sharp, or why they couldn't fool us anymore. Back in my second sister's room, she angrily threw away all the snacks Song Jinyan had prepared. Then, as if remembering something, she also deleted all the games from her phone. After doing all that, She suddenly looked at me. Lu, why? She asked seriously. Was I ever a disappointment to you? I quickly shook my head and said with puffed cheeks, no. I know second sister is the best. In my mind, I added, second sister was just fooled by mom. I know she's really smart. She'll definitely become an amazing person. My second sister smiled. She looked a bit touched and said, Lu, why? Second sister will work hard from now on and become an outstanding person. I won't let anyone bully you ever again. Okay? I believe you, second sister. I nodded firmly. The first thing my second sister did when she got home was go to the hospital for a full checkup and hire a personal trainer. She set a weight loss plan. Besides losing weight, she also picked up her books again. She hired a tutor and started catching up from elementary school. She studied the entire winter break. Everyone's on a diet, directly shocking my mom and Song Jinyan. They didn't do anything, so why, ever since Song Jinyan came to this family, did my dad and second sister change? My dad never used to go to the company. All company matters were handled entirely by my mom. She was just that close to winning over the company's employees and becoming the real power controlling the company. But then my dad went to the company, and those originally wavering shareholders and executives all stopped listening to my mom. My mom was furious, and I heard her whispering to Song Jinyan again. This time, she was clearly more dissatisfied with Song Jinyan. What's wrong with you? Didn't I tell you to come back and win over the family? How did you manage to mess everything up instead? This is drifting further and further from my plan. How am I supposed to bring your father here to enjoy life? My mom's voice carried reproach. I don't know. I did everything you taught me to do, but they don't believe me. Song Jinyan was so wronged he started crying. My mom couldn't figure out which step went wrong. She got a bit irritable and just gave up. Your eldest sister is coming home for the new year soon. She trusts me the most and is the most grateful to me. Forget about the others. They're all worthless anyway. Your eldest sister is the designated heir of this family. This time I'll definitely perform well. I'll make sure eldest sister likes me. Song Jinyan promised. He probably felt some resentment. He thought she was better than him at everything, better at reading people, better at showing herself off. How could she not win the whole family's affection? In the previous life, when my mom threw me off the rooftop, she arrogantly mocked me, saying she only used one finger to make me lose everything. Back then, when I accidentally fell off the rooftop and died instantly, my dad and my two sisters were actually very sad. But not long after, they were charmed by Song Jinyan's sweet talk, and then shortly after, all of them were wiped out by my mom and Song Jinyan. Thinking about all that from the previous life, I clenched my teeth. This time, it's my mom and Song Jinyan's turn to face retribution. A week before the new year, my eldest sister, Lu Wanxin, returned from recovering abroad. 6 months ago, my sister's car suddenly had brake failure, causing a severe accident. That day, my dad and I were traveling abroad. My second sister was playing games at home, and my mom was the first to rush to rescue my eldest sister. Apparently, it was pouring rain that day, the road collapsed, and the ambulance couldn't reach the accident scene in time. My mom carried my sister on her back for several miles to get her to the ambulance. The whole thing was filmed by a passerby. Everyone praised the greatness of maternal love, and our whole family grew even fonder of my mom. But the truth was that accident was orchestrated by my mom. Because my eldest sister is the family's heir, my mom wanted to get her out of the way early. If my eldest sister died, and my second sister was a useless wreck, then there would only be me left. In my mom's eyes, I was easy to deal with. All she needed was to have Song Jinyan come into the family to replace my position. That way, in the end, the family fortune would naturally become theirs, mother and son's prize. But unexpectedly, after the crash, my sister didn't die instantly. My mom originally didn't want to save her, but since a passerby was filming, she had no choice but to put on that tear-jerking act. My sister was rushed to the hospital for treatment. She survived, but her legs were disabled. My mom suggested my sister go abroad for further treatment, claiming foreign medical equipment was more advanced and would help her recover. She even actively helped my sister contact the best private hospital. The result was predictable. After 6 months, my sister's legs hadn't improved at all. Eldest sister, you're finally back. I've always wanted to meet you. Song Jinyan ran up to my eldest sister, smiling like a fluttering butterfly. I've heard mom talk about you all the time, saying you're mature, steady, beautiful, and generous. Seeing is believing. You're younger and prettier than I imagined. My sister had become very insecure because of her leg disability, almost reclusive. For a while, my dad and I would often fly abroad to see her, but she always chased us away. She didn't want to see anyone. She only saw my mom. In the end, we didn't dare visit her anymore. Now Song Jinyan's initiative clearly made my eldest sister uncomfortable, yet she seemed unable to resist her enthusiasm. Her eyes showed the effort of seeing her. Eldest sister, you must be tired from such a long flight. Let me massage your back, she said. And then she eagerly started massaging my eldest sister's back, constantly asking, eldest sister, does it feel good? I knew you were coming back, so I specially learned massage. The massage therapist also taught me how to massage the legs to help with blood circulation. When you come back later, I'll give you a massage every day, okay? I saw my eldest sister was a bit embarrassed, But in the end, she gladly accepted. This time I have no inner voice. Let Song Jinyan show off first. As the saying goes, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. If we don't give them a little sweetness, how can we push them to the edge in the end? After that, Song Jinyan quickly won over my eldest sister. She, who had been somewhat self-doubting, ever since being accepted by my eldest sister, he became like a peacock spreading its tail, active around the house. My mother was also gratified. She had worked so hard to raise her son for so many years. How could he be completely useless? How could he not even compare to me? So, they started to pull out the big guns. Song Jinyan's 15th birthday was planned to be held 2 days before the new year. My mother made arrangements to throw a grand birthday party for Song Jinyan at home. She invited all the relatives and friends, which also served to formally introduce him to them. My father was unwilling. He had no goodwill toward Song Jinyan now, in fact, deep hostility. After all, no one would willingly raise his wife's illegitimate son. To avoid alerting the enemy, my father endured it. However, he did not participate in the preparations for Song Jinyan's birthday party. He left it all to my mother. Out of sight, out of mind. My mother was naturally very willing. She had put a lot of thought into this birthday party. So on Song Jinyan's birthday, many people came to the house. My mother invited almost all the important relatives and friends to celebrate Song Jinyan's birthday. The huge villa was buzzing with activity. Song Jinyan wore a handsome white suit, staying close to my mother. My mother was enthusiastically introducing Song Jinyan to everyone. My father couldn't take it and made an excuse to go to his room. My second sister didn't come downstairs at all. Her reason was that she needed to study. Only my eldest sister, ever since her legs were disabled in a car accident, someone who never socialized, still showed up in the hall for Song Jinyan. Song Jinyan accompanied my mother in a round and then appeared in front of me. I happened to be eating alone at the dessert area. He said with a grin, "Hey, this suit I'm wearing was a gift from eldest sister. I heard it's very expensive. I really like it. Do you think it looks good?" Song Jinyan spun around in front of me a few times, deliberately showing off. It was the same in the previous life. He used this method to provoke my hatred toward him, then make himself appear weak and helpless. I had fallen for her scheme before too, and it caused a huge rift between us, making the whole family. And even everyone who came to her birthday party blamed me for not being understanding enough. This time, I couldn't be bothered with her. So I just said lightly, "It looks really good on you. Are you going to get jealous?" Seeing that I didn't take the bait, Song Jinyan kept stirring the pot. "Not jealous," I said very magnanimously. "Back then, eldest sister bought me a lot of nice suits. Today's your birthday, and I heard you used to be the closest to her. These past few days, eldest sister has been spending more time with me to help me fit in better at home. I was worried you might feel upset, but I'm glad you're not. I misjudged you. You're not that dependent on her." Just then, eldest sister happened to push her wheelchair over. I had no idea what Song Jinyan had been telling her these days, but it was obvious that eldest sister had grown protective of her. Seeing us alone, she was afraid I might bully Song Jinyan, so she came over. Song Jinyan noticed her. Of course, that whole speech was meant for eldest sister. She was trying to tell eldest sister, "Does this mean we all have to cater to you now? Do I have to act like you and keep pushing for more, hogging eldest sister all to myself?" I asked her with a puzzled look. Song Jinyan looked a bit embarrassed by my words, but only for a second. The next moment, she shamelessly started accusing me. "Are you blaming me for taking up too much of eldest sister's time? But you just said you didn't mind." And then she instantly put on a pitiful face, making it look like I had done something awful to her. Seeing how upset Song Jinyan was, eldest sister asked in a low voice, "What's going on?" "And nothing." Song Jinyan said meekly, "I'll be more careful from now on. Lu Huai, please don't be mad, okay?" Even hearing it for the second time, I couldn't help laughing out loud. Just how shameless could Song Jinyan be? To say that, the moment eldest sister turned her head, Song Jinyan quickly hid her foot, then covered the torn part of her pants where her thigh was exposed, looking completely distraught. She couldn't help shouting at me, "Lu Huai, how could you do this to me?" Just now, that little scene between Song Jinyan and me, only my eldest sister noticed and maybe my mother. My mother had prepared everything tonight. Right now, because of Song Jinyan's scream, everyone in the hall was drawn over. Song Jinyan looked even more broken and deeply ashamed. My eldest sister quickly took off her suit jacket and handed it to Song Jinyan. He took it looking wronged. He wrapped it tightly around his waist, like a frightened deer, pitiful and endearing. "What's wrong?" my mother said as she walked over. Song Jinyan trembled, too scared to speak in front of so many people. "Lu Wanxin, what happened?" my mother asked my eldest sister. My eldest sister spoke bluntly, not sparing my feelings at all, and pinned the blame squarely on me. "Lu Huai tore Jinyan's pants. Is it really a coincidence? It's been 15 years. He's never had a proper birthday. So what, you've been spending birthdays with the dog every year?" At that moment, murmurs started spreading through the hall. "Lu Huai is really spoiled. How could he embarrass Song Jinyan like that in public? No matter what, Song Jinyan is part of this family now. He's their son now. How can Lu Huai be so domineering? I heard Song Jinyan has had a rough life. Everyone was blaming me. I could see my mother and Song Jinyan. They could barely contain themselves. Their smug smiles. They thought their scheme was about to succeed. I couldn't wait to tell my eldest sister about Song Jinyan. There's no point in me explaining now, is there? Even my dearest sister thinks I deliberately stepped on Song Jinyan's pants. I saw my eldest sister freeze. She clearly looked confused. Why hadn't she seen my mouth move, yet she heard my voice? I continued, actually, I don't mind being wronged, but I really don't want my eldest sister to be kept in the dark by mom about everything. If she found out that mom hired someone to hit her with a car and break her legs, wouldn't she be devastated? She loves mom so much. I don't want my sister to be hurt. My eldest sister was sitting in her wheelchair. I watched her expression suddenly change. She gripped the armrests tightly. She was so angry her whole body was shaking. Song Jinyan was standing very close to her and immediately noticed the shift in my eldest sister's mood. He almost couldn't stop the corner of his mouth from lifting into a smile. He thought she was standing up for him. He thought my eldest sister was mad at me. Thinking the moment was right, Song Jinyan quickly spoke up. Lu Huai, if you dislike me that much, I'll just leave this family. I've been able to come here and enjoy a month of happiness. Having a dad, a mom, sisters, and even a little brother. I already feel so blessed. I don't dare hope for anything more. I don't want to make you unhappy, Lu Huai. No matter how much I love this family, I'll never find joy if you're upset. Song Jinyan's heartfelt words instantly moved everyone. The relatives and friends in the house all started blaming me again on his behalf. Seeing so many people on his side, his confidence grew. He said, please don't blame Lu Huai. I don't want him to be sad. In this family, he paused. He seemed a little hurt. After a long moment he added, I was adopted after all. I never truly belonged to this family. Don't say anything to Lu Huai. Since he doesn't like me, I should leave. Since I brought you home, you belong to this family. My mother looked determined, playing right along with Song Jinyan. I don't have anything that belongs to this family. Song Jinyan said painfully. I have nothing. I haven't made any contribution to this family. How can you be so insecure? My mother said, sounding helpless. Mom, please just send me to an orphanage tonight. That's where I truly belong. How can I prove that you have a place and a status in our family? How can I make you feel that our whole family welcomes you? My mother looked frantic. She seemed desperate to keep him, but unable to think of a better way, like a cat on a hot tin roof. If I hadn't lived through this once before, I would have been fooled by her again. It's a shame my mother didn't become an actress. For the past decade or so, she's played her role flawlessly in the Lu family. But my mother isn't my real mother. My real mother died in an accident less than a year after I was born. My mother, this one, was just a junior manager at my father's company. After she found out my father was widowed, she pursued him aggressively. My father never considered her at first. He was deeply in love with my biological mother. But he couldn't resist her approach through me and my two sisters. She treated us very well. Later, after my two sisters and I passed away, I was the only one left to keep the company running. That day, I happened to have an urgent matter at work and couldn't leave. That night, my mother volunteered to take me to the hospital. By the time my father finished work and rushed over, he saw my mother holding me, asleep on the hospital bed. After 2 whole years, my father was finally moved by her. Relatives all around, including those from my biological mother's side, urged my father to accept her. My father finally let go of his resentment and married her. At the wedding, she made a public vow. She said she would love my father for life, take care of me and my 2 sisters for life, and that she would only ever have the 3 of us as her children. She kept her word. Over the past 10+ years with my father, she never had another child. For a while, my father even considered having a child with her, hoping to leave her a bloodline of her own. But my mother refused, saying the 3 of us were already her bloodline, and she was content. Seeing how determined she was, my father didn't push it, but his feelings for her clearly grew deeper. Eventually, my 2 sisters and I all started calling her mom. In everyone else's eyes, my mother was devoted and noble. No one could have guessed that it was all her scheme. She didn't have a child with my father because she already had a son with her childhood sweetheart. She also didn't want any ties to my father through a child. From the very beginning, she planned to destroy our family. In the previous life, she succeeded. She took over my father's company and drove him to jump off a building. She left my eldest sister crippled and abandoned abroad, and she watched my second sister die in agony from illness. She pushed me off the rooftop, leaving me with eyes wide open in death. She then brazenly enjoyed everything our Lu family had, alongside her sweetheart and her precious son, Song Jinyan. At that moment, someone in the hall suddenly blurted out, "Isn't it simple? Song Jinyan has no sense of security in this family. Give her security. Give her shares in the Lu group right now. Once she has shares, who can say she's not a Lu? That person was bribed by my father. I can't accept it. I can't." Song Jinyan quickly refused, putting on an act of being considerate and wronged. In the previous life, my father gave her those shares. He felt sorry for Song Jinyan and gave her 10%. At the time, my father only had 30%. After giving it to Song Jinyan, he was left with 20. As for the other shares, 20% were in my eldest sister's hands, 20% in my mother's, and the remaining 30% were scattered among shareholders from other families. My mother used her 20%, and Song Jinyan's 10% to secretly buy up part of the other shareholder stakes. She also set a trap that made my sister give up 10%, making her the largest shareholder of the Lu Group. This time, my father wasn't around. I saw my mother fix her gaze on my eldest sister and say, "Mom has never asked you for anything. You know Mom's shares are meant to help your father share the workload at the company. You're on leave recovering, so you don't need to work. Just give 10% to Song Jinyan for now. I'll find a way to make it up to you later." She said it as if it were only natural, as if she didn't think my sister would refuse her. How could she refuse? Just now, my eldest sister had publicly humiliated me to defend Song Jinyan. Now giving her shares would be the perfect lesson for me. She thought my eldest sister couldn't say no, but she didn't notice that my father and my second sister had come downstairs. Probably the butler had reported it. Afraid I'd be bullied, they rushed down. So at that moment, the whole family heard my thoughts together. If my eldest sister gives her shares to Song Jinyan, Mom will be one step closer to stealing our family fortune. Actually, my eldest sister's leg wasn't incurable. Mom just never treated her properly. The doctors abroad were deliberately arranged by her. How conflicted it is. If they find out everything Mom did just to marry her sweetheart, would this family fall apart? I saw the whole family's gaze toward my mother change completely. My eldest sister was so furious her hair practically smoked. Right then, Song Jinyan was still putting on a show, pretending to refuse in front of my eldest sister. "Mom, I don't want it. How could I take eldest sister's shares?" "Eldest sister, don't listen to Mom. I won't be so thoughtless." As she said this, she even reached out to grab my eldest sister's arm. But the moment she touched her, a loud crash rang out. Song Jinyan ended up flung to the ground by my eldest sister, leaving everyone stunned. Even Song Jinyan was too shocked to cry out in pain. My mother was the first to react, utterly incredulous. "Lu Wanqing, what do you think you're doing? How could you treat Jinyan like that? Have you lost your mind?" My eldest sister just sneered. Looking at my mother's eyes, wanting to tear her apart, I quickly grabbed my eldest sister. I thought, my eldest sister has no evidence to accuse Mom now, and definitely no one would believe her. They would think our whole family bullied Song Jinyan. Because of Mom and Song Jinyan, our family would be left with a bad reputation. Not knowing there's surveillance at home, as long as we replay it, everyone would know whether Song Jinyan was really framing me. I saw my sister trying hard to restrain herself. My mom was still scolding my eldest sister. Her mood had changed after the car accident. The others also thought my mom was right and sided with her, until my eldest sister ordered, "Uncle Wu, pull up the surveillance footage from the hall just now." As soon as Song Jinyan heard surveillance, he panicked instantly. His face turned white with fear. He looked at my mom and she also looked a bit flustered. He said, "Why are you pulling up the surveillance?" My eldest sister ignored him. My mom said to Uncle Wu, "Pull up the surveillance. I'm the one in charge of this household." My dad spoke up with a strong and chilling presence. "Uncle Wu, pull up the surveillance." "Yes." Seeing that things couldn't be salvaged, Song Jinyan quickly got up from the floor. "Since my eldest sister doesn't welcome me either, and the whole family doesn't welcome me, then I'll leave. I'll just leave. No one is allowed to leave until my younger brother's innocence is proven," my eldest sister scolded. Although he is now disabled in both legs, he was still the heir personally trained by my dad. In fact, he was not inferior to my dad. It was just the accident that made him temporarily depressed. Song Jinyan didn't dare to speak. Everyone clearly saw that Song Jinyan deliberately tore his own pants. And then he acted as the victim and falsely accused me. The public opinion immediately reversed. At this moment, Song Jinyan was not drowned by spit, but no matter how thick his skin, he was humiliated to death. "Send him away." My dad didn't waste any more words. "I never want to see him again." "No, I'm not leaving." As soon as Song Jinyan heard about being sent away, he couldn't handle it. He had just started living in this nice house, had just obtained the status of the young master of the Lu family. He couldn't bear to give it up, and it had to be said, over the years my mom was afraid of exposing the flaw, so she didn't dare give too much to Song Jinyan and his father. Now that Song Jinyan enjoyed life in our home, it was naturally different from what he had with his father. Completely different. "I won't ever again. I won't ever again. Dad, can you give me one more chance?" Song Jinyan cried bitterly. If everyone hadn't seen his true colors, they would have been deceived by him again. My dad didn't even look at him. "Send him away. Don't dirty this house." "Mom! Mom!" Song Jinyan begged my mom again. My mom, of course, wasn't stupid. She knew Song Jinyan was useless now and immediately cut ties with him. "I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. I was wrong about you. I'll send you away right now." Then she said to my dad, "I really didn't expect him to be such a good actor. I'll send him away right away. Don't be angry." My dad sneered. At that moment, he looked at my mom like she was a clown. My mom thought my dad was just angry and didn't think much. She dragged Song Jinyan and left. Although my mom loved her childhood sweetheart and her own flesh and blood very much, she valued money even more. Otherwise, she wouldn't have betrayed family for money. So after Song Jinyan was kicked out this time, he wouldn't have a good life. My mom would definitely blame all the mistakes on Song Jinyan. Of course, for our whole family, this wasn't important. What was important was how to make my mom lose everything. Afterwards, after my mom sent Song Jinyan away, the first thing she did was to apologize to our whole family in front of all the guests. My mom was very remorseful, and she acted very innocent. She said she didn't know Song Jinyan was like that either. She was also deceived by him. She had been so good to Song Jinyan, and her feelings were greatly hurt. My dad said bluntly, "The one most hurt is Lu Huai. He was almost framed by Song Jinyan." My mom quickly nodded. Yes, yes, yes. Lu Huai is the most hurt. It's Mom's fault. Mom apologizes to you, okay? Mom promises. I won't be soft-hearted anymore and adopt other children. You are Mom's only son. I thought to myself. I held back. My dad said, since harm has been done, just saying a few comforting words is too insincere. You should make substantial compensation. Lu Huai, tell Mom what you want. I will give you anything. My mother said sincerely, anything you want. I asked her innocently. Of course. When has Mom ever gone back on her word? She thought she could be like before. Just give me a little candy and you can buy my heart. I want what Mom is holding. The Lu Corporation shares. I cut straight to the chase. I saw my mother's expression. It visibly changed. She stammered for a long time before saying, you're only 14. Shares aren't applicable to you. But Mom just said she would give shares to Song Jinyan. Does that mean in Mom's heart, I'm not as important as Song Jinyan? I asked her with a hurt expression. It seemed like a casual remark. Is Song Jinyan your biological son? That sentence directly scared my mother. How is that possible? Don't talk nonsense. I only have one son, you. Then why is Mom willing to give shares to Song Jinyan but not to me? My shares are to help your father in the company. No need, my father said. Wanqing just agreed to work at the company. The Lu Corporation isn't. My mother didn't believe it. She was certain my eldest sister would remain in a slump. I'm the eldest daughter. I should take on the family responsibility. My eldest sister said each word deliberately. My mother gritted her teeth. She clearly still didn't want to, but couldn't find a reason to refuse. Can Mom give me the shares now? You just said you'd agree to everything I want. I looked at her eagerly. The hall was full of people, and the guests were all watching her. If she refused, she'd lose face too. She gritted her teeth. Now she didn't dare to have a falling out. In her view, if she had a falling out, she would only have this 20% of shares. If she didn't have a falling out, she still had a chance to turn things around. She spent so many years to get to this point. How could she be willing? She said, fine, my mother said reluctantly. I said happily, is Mom going to give me all the shares in her hands? Giving you 10% is enough. But just now I had your eldest sister. Give Song Jinyan the same amount. My mother bargained. In Mom's heart, shouldn't I be more important than Song Jinyan? I said with hurt. My mother was silent for a long time. Clearly she wasn't willing. My father said directly, back when you took my shares, you kept saying you wouldn't keep them, that they'd be left to the children. Now it's just giving them to Lu Huai in advance. To heal her wounded heart, and you're unhappy? My mother was cornered by my father. She couldn't back down. There were so many relatives and friends watching. Her image as a good woman, whether to maintain it or not, was in her hands. If she maintained her image, all her scheming over the past decade would be wasted. But if she didn't maintain her image, she would only have this 20%. She wouldn't be satisfied. My father didn't urge my mother either, giving her time to think it over. After all, it wasn't him who was embarrassed. Sweat dripped from my mother's forehead one drop at a time. People around started whispering, who really wants nothing? It's just that she spoke too confidently before. A bit embarrassing. If she truly treated the children as her own, how could she mind these few shares? She's selfish after all. Facing so many people, my mother ultimately couldn't swallow her pride. I saw a flicker of ruthlessness in her eyes, then it vanished. The next moment, she suddenly acted very magnanimous. How could I possibly be unwilling? These shares, when I took them back then, I said they were being kept for the children. I was just considering whether to give Meng Yao 10%. Since Wanqing and Xiaohui have shares, then Meng Yao can't be left out. I don't need it, just give it to Xiaohui. Lu Meng Yao directly refused. Everyone knew her intentions. She thought my second sister was easiest to control. The diligence my second sister is showing now is all an act. It won't last a few days. Since Meng Yao doesn't want it, I'll give it to Xiaohui. My mother said, seizing the opportunity. Thank you, Mom. I accepted gladly. My father didn't waste a moment. He directly called the company lawyer and signed the share transfer agreement on the spot. My mother probably couldn't figure it out even if she died. She originally called Song Jinyan to help her, but unexpectedly, she lost both the bait and the fish. All accounts settled? Of course. But for our whole family, this was far from enough. In the previous life, she ruined our family and caused deaths. In this life, we would repay her double. After that, our family returned to how it was at the beginning. The most obvious sign was that my mother started to panic. She lost her shares and no longer had control of the company. My dad and my eldest sister went to work as usual. My eldest sister would still make time to visit me. My second sister threw herself into working out and studying like crazy. I was still the spoiled one in the family. Our family as a whole was moving toward a better and better direction. It was the exact opposite of what my mom wanted. She finally couldn't take it anymore. She made up an excuse about a relative's emergency. Said she had to go back to her hometown and she left. That same night she left. She secretly rented a car, drove dozens of miles back to the villa. While our whole family was asleep, she set fire to our villa in the dead of night. It was around 3 in the morning. Everyone was asleep. None of the neighbors noticed anything. By the time we found out, the fire had already engulfed the entire villa. The firefighters took all night to completely put out the blaze. My mom only came back the next day after she got the news. The moment she arrived, she fell to her knees, wailing her heart out. Even bystanders couldn't help feeling sorry for her. They all went up to comfort her. My mom acted like she couldn't hear them. She was completely broken, saying, "If only I hadn't left. If only I had died with you all. What's the point of living alone now that you're all gone?" She acted so convincingly. No one saw the gleam of triumph in her eyes. Now that our whole family was dead, she was the sole heir. Just as she was secretly gloating, I called out from behind her, "Mom!" I saw her body jolt. She thought she was hallucinating. "Honey!" My dad called out to her too. She turned around, dazed. Seeing our whole family standing there safe and sound, she was so scared she collapsed onto the ground. You guys turned into ghosts? We're alive and well." I said, "We went on a trip overseas yesterday. We just got back. You weren't home?" My mom got instantly worked up. The fury in her eyes was completely uncontrollable. She looked like she wanted to kill us right then and there. "No," I replied. I asked innocently, "What happened to our house?" My mom's eyes started darting around. She struggled to keep herself in check. "I heard there were stray cats a few days ago. I think I installed a few hidden cameras near the front door." "Let me check," I said. I was about to pull out my phone to review the footage. My mom got terrified. She jumped up from the ground, snatched my phone out of my hand and smashed it on the floor like crazy. Everyone stared at her. My mom forced a smile and said, "As long as you're all okay, nothing else matters. Our family being together is what counts." My dad spoke up, "What? Honey, what are you talking about?" My mom panicked, unable to hide it anymore. My dad said, "You know very well what you've done. I've already handed over the evidence to the police. So get ready to face the law." "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" My mom went completely crazy. Even in her crazed state, she refused to admit anything. "I've already given the police the video of you setting the villa on fire last night. Look, the police are already here." When my mom saw the police, she bolted. But how could she outrun them? In a few seconds she was tackled to the ground, a complete mess. As the police put her in the squad car, she screamed at us, "How did you find out? How? I was so careful. How could you possibly know? Where did I mess up?" She couldn't accept that after all her years of suffering in silence, it would lead to her own destruction. Since no one was actually killed, my mom was only sentenced to 10 years in prison. After she was locked up, I still went to visit her. The moment she saw me, she got very emotional. She said, "Lu Huai, do you still love mommy? When mommy gets out, I'll take you to the amusement park and buy you all kinds of good food." "I don't love you." I cut her off. "Listening to you makes me sick." "Then why did you come? If you're visiting me, it means you still care." "I came to laugh at you." A cruel smile curled at the corner of my mouth. That kind of smile should never have appeared on a 15-year-old boy's face. My mom's eyes were filled with terror. "You? Who are you? You're not Lu Huai. Why wouldn't I be? Just not the one you imagined." I looked at her, my smile deepening. "Mom, you must really want to know why you schemed so carefully, only to fail in the end." "Why?" My mom was frantic. Because I looked at her and said, word by word, "God will punish every bad person. Otherwise, why would I be given a chance to be reborn?" "You?" My mom thought I was messing with her and almost stood up to hit me. Just as she made that move, Yujing pinned her down. The pain made her immediately soften and beg. Seeing her like that, it was so satisfying. I said, "Mom, whether you're my biological mother or not, we've been mother and son for a while. Let me give you a gift." My mom looked at me with some hope in her eyes. I told her word by word, "Song Jinyan is not your biological son. When you gave birth, your dear mistress swapped the babies. Your real child is suffering somewhere unknown. Who would have thought that for so many years, you've been raising someone else's child all along? My dad originally said to have a girl for you, but you refused. Truly pathetic and pitiful. Impossible, impossible." My mom didn't believe it, but she was already breaking down. "After you get out of prison, go find the answers yourself. That should be quite interesting." Of course, that's no longer within my concern. How cruel my mom will eventually be. When she takes her revenge, how cruelly she treats Song Jinyan, that's her business. At worst, I'll just crack another joke. I walked out of the prison, looking at the clear, boundless sky outside, and laughed at the world. Next, I'm going to enjoy fully what I couldn't in my last life. The warmth of family. I sincerely wish for the beauty of this world. May it always keep you close.